Good morning. Today is the 6th of March, and it is the day when a pretty big Steam event is going to start. And it's the Women's Sales Day, a Steam sales event that features games and demos created by teams led by women. And I am very happy to have been accepted to participate in this event with my game, The Merry Fairy. And I am also happy to say that I'm launching a new update for my game with this occasion. And since the update contains two features that I personally deem are important, the Merry Fairy will also be discounted by 60% during the entire Women's Day sale event. I am quite a little bit stressed by doing this pre-recorded stream. I'm not, this is out of my comfort zone, so I'm not used to do this. And what you're seeing is a pre-recorded session in the Merry Fairy where I made a journal page for me and for you to show you what my game is about. And I'm trying to keep in mind that I have no good reason to stress. The whole reason why I made the Merry Fairy in the first place and I participate in this event as well is because I want to have fun and to share something exciting with you. What you're seeing on screen is version 67 of my game The Merry Fairy, which is currently not yet public, but I will make it public later today. And in this version I added a tutorial letter that I showed a few minutes ago, a few seconds ago, I don't know. Oh my god, this is weird. And I also added the ability to add your own pictures and decorations in your journal. I don't know what the day will bring. My plan today is to make this recording, play around with OBS and add my camera and make this audio recording, I guess, and make everything ready for later on when the Steam event starts. And then when I'm done with that, I want to take a final look on build 67 and, you know, push it on the public version of Steam. So again, you'll get the tutorial and you'll get the ability to add your own pictures and decorations. I have also fixed some bugs and typos, and the most important bug that was fixed, which it was a pretty big bug, but I didn't notice it earlier, that you can export your journal as a web file that you can save as a PDF, and that was a broken functionality. I don't know when it broke, but all the journal pictures were saved one on top of another, and that was the most important bug that was fixed with this version. So if you have already played my game and encountered this, I'm very sorry and know that it was fixed, and it should be fixed for all the build versions. I hope so. But if it's not, please use the ladybug function in game to tell me if there are problems. But I also want to say that after I make the recording, make the stream, prepare the stream, upload it, make sure it works on Steam, prepare the new build, upload it, and all that. Oh my god, it sounds quite a lot, and maybe this is why I am stressed, because I allow myself, I overwhelm myself with all the to-dos that I have in my hand. Today is a wonderful day. It's really sunny outside and it's warm, and I feel, I can smell the spring in the air. So after I do all that, I also really want to go outside and take a nice walk in the sun, and I want to dance, and I also will have some friends coming over in the evening, and we will play a mystery game. So, I have a pretty full day ahead of me. I am just talking. I will not edit this. I want this to be as raw and true and unfiltered as possible. And I think I will upload this video on my YouTube channel as well. The absolutely wonderful team behind the Women's Day sale has been extremely helpful, and they recommended that I do make a pre-recorded gameplay session that I stream throughout the entire event, and I'm doing that. But they recommended that it's about 20 minutes long. But this video is 47 minutes long, because this is simply how much it took for me to create a journal page in my game earlier this morning. And they also said that I should talk during the stream, but that most people will keep the stream on silent. So this helps a little bit with my feeling of stress. But as I said, I will add this video on YouTube as well. And I have a script, kind of like, I don't know, I wrote a script, but I'm obviously not really following it. I do at least have some points that I don't want to miss going through. So let me see what the Merry Fairy is a cozy scrapbook journaling game set in a fairy tale environment. And the goal of the Merry Fairy is that you are able to discover your magic. And when I say discover your magic, I mean to discover your inner self, your self-love, your self-confidence, in a safe and enchanted space. And where you can write down your treasures. I think about them as treasures, meaning your thoughts, your insights, if you want to, and in any way that you want to. You can write down, like literally type down your thoughts, but you can also choose from hundreds, if not thousands, of decorations that you can gather throughout my desk and decorate the journal. But you don't have to write down your thoughts, and you don't have to decorate your journal. It's only if you want to. Otherwise, you can just be in the Merry Ferry. And I spent a lot of time making sure that the atmosphere is calm and serene and relaxing. There's ferry radio that you can turn on if you want to. And I have been collaborating with a handful of wonderful musicians who made music that it feels like fairy music to me. And so you can just be and at my office you can turn on the radio, the Fairyland radio, and choose your preferred music. You can light candles and turn on the lamp. You can get a soul candy, which is exactly what it sounds like, a candy for the soul, random good affirmation or thought for you. You can browse through several of my decoration collections, which are several books on my desk that I added pretty much everything that I liked. You can just click on everything that there is around to click. There are a few cute surprises, like there's a wind chime you can play with, and there's a really tiny companion cat that you can disturb, but like don't or do. I don't know. And yeah, this is what the Merry Fairy is about. And I suppose the important thing to say, the truly deeply important and profound thing to say for me, is that the Merry Fairy, my enchanted cottage, is a real place, is a almost direct copy of my real home and my office. And it is also a space where I myself feel safe to add everything that I find fun and insightful when I journal myself. So there are quotes that I find inspiring. For today, for example, for today's journal spread, for example, I used one of my most favorite Alan Watts quote. There are a lot of drawings in all sorts of shapes and forms, and I tried to categorize them into like drawings, decorations, but also colors, backgrounds, frames, and I think the way the Merry Fairy is right now, and I hope that it will always be, reflects a little bit how I am as well. So I wouldn't call myself a messy person necessarily, but I'm definitely not I wouldn't call myself organized either. There's a soft balance between keeping a little bit of tidiness and order into what I have on my actual desk and in my digital desk in the Merry Fairy, and touch of chaos to allow, to allow my heart to be free to add whatever I feel I need to add in the moment. So you can find my favorite quotes, drawings, pictures, frames, lace, washi tapes, but you can also find rituals, a little bit of organizers, and even my camera, and you can check my camera on the Merry Fairy desk in game and see pictures that I took in Fairyland, which is my home, and you can use those pictures as background decorations as well, if you want to. As of today, with version 67, you can take your own pictures and use your own pictures as decorations too. There's for now the only cats that are available in the Merry Fairy are black cats, and it's actually only one cat, which is the resident cat around here, and his name is Skogan, and sometimes he comes and knocks on your window, and you can have a chat with him. One of the functionalities of the Merry Fairy is that you get in-game visits from my whimsical friends, and just like the place itself, everyone depicted in my game is also a real living being. And so far you get you get visits from the caretaker, which is the caretaker of Fairyland, and yeah, he's my boyfriend, and from Skogan, who is a very talkative cat and a fierce hunter, and from the Wish Tree, which is a short walk away from my office, and it is a pine tree that fulfills great wishes. If you understand in your heart that you have a great wish, and if you go and ask her to fulfill the wish and leave a pine cone at her roots. I'm not very comfortable to call the Merry Fairy a video game, because there's absolutely nothing at all to win or to miss out on or to compete for or fight for in the Merry Fairy. The player fantasy that I want to fulfill is to experience abundance and serenity, to get a taste of what it means to live in a world where all is good and wonderful and where you can relax enough to finally discover your own magic. And what I mean by that is that you can finally relax enough to spend the time you need to spend with yourself and choose who you want to be and what kind of fun you want to experience in life, in this lifetime. Because to me, life is joy. Life is a dance. Life is music. Life is energy. Life is joy and extreme, exuberant joy. But I think I often forget this. And this is why I say that I made this game for myself. What else did I wanted to share? Here is the journal spread that I've been doing this morning, kind of having these thoughts in my mind, the thoughts that I need to record a gameplay session and I need to show the new features that I'm adding today, and that I need to do this whole camera and speaking thing, which is very, very out of my comfort zone. But that I also want to have time to enjoy this beautiful sunny day and to dance and to be with my friends. So yeah, it's completely out of sync what you're seeing and what I'm talking, but maybe if you are going to watch this on YouTube and not without any sound on Steam, you'll understand the process behind this a little bit more. And this is one of my most favorite quotes from Alan Watts. This is the real secret of life, to be completely engaged with what you are doing in the here and now, and instead of calling it work, realize it is play. And it's not an easy thing to do, but it's a wonderful thing to experience. And this is the feeling that I have been chasing, and I have been journaling both outside of and in the Merry Fair. Because life is play. If games are art, and I do believe that games are art, I want to say that I make this art for the sake of making art. I am already getting all the rewards that I have ever dreamed of from making the Merry Fairy and more, because I get immense joy from developing this game. And even though it feels uncomfortable now, and it feels even a little bit dangerous, I could say, to be on camera and to talk about this and to put this video on YouTube and show you all of this, which is me. It's the rawest form that I can think of being. When I managed to overcome the fear and the shyness and all of that, I realized that deep down inside, I am very happy and I feel a profound sense of joy. So this is why I feel free to be quite liberal and eccentric when it comes to talking about the Merry Fairy, and especially pricing the Merry Fairy, because this has never really been about money for me. Selling the game, making some money with the Merry Fairy is a welcomed bonus, but I'm already getting more than I have ever hoped for in terms of rewards for doing this. So that's why the Merry Fairy costs... Oh, that's a story that I want to say. The Merry Fairy costs 9.99 euros or dollars, depending on where you are, and then it's localized in other currencies. But the base price of the Merry Fairy is $9.99 because my birthday is on July 9th, and I launched the Merry Fairy, but the true event that happened on my birthday last year is that I had the grand opening of the Merry Fairy for my birthday on July 9th, and it was a birthday for me to open up the doors of my enchanted cottage. And that's why the price is $9.99. And also, I have a discount strategy for the Merry Fairy that goes like this. I enjoy discounting my game as often as possible, and I will have 3 kinds of discounts. I am having 3 kinds of discounts. It's 30%, 60% and 90% off. And yeah, they are all related to number 9. And when the Merry Fairy has a 30% discount, that one comes with a smaller update, where maybe I add more decorations or more quotes or stuff like that. 60% comes with like a bigger update, where maybe I add important features or new functionalities, like it is now that I added the tutorial letter and the ability to add your own pictures in the journal. And then there will be a 90% discount, which will always happen in the week of the year when I celebrate my birthday. So in the week that contains July 9th. So yeah, do with this information what you wish to do with this information. Yeah, right. I wanted to tell you about theory of magical creatures. But I also want to take a pause. I don't normally talk this much in a week. And I'm happy that I remembered to... I'm happy I mentioned it because now I remembered that I did not introduce myself. My name is Laura Faye and I am a forest fairy, or a skogsrå, as I am called around here in Sweden. I do live quite remotely at a farm in the west of Sweden. And I thrive here, having nature and peace and the forest nearby. I used to live in big cities, but I really don't thrive there at all. So I'm very happy that today my life is very peaceful and calm. And I don't get to see many people. I see a lot more animals than people and a lot more trees than anything else, and I love it. I love my solitude. And I have this theory that, you know, we like to create our identity with all sorts of labels, like, oh, I am an indie game developer, or oh, I am a Swedish person, or oh, I am whatever. And an important label that I like to think about and identify with is that I am a fairy. I am a magical creature. And I think there are many more magical creatures in the world, just like me. And so I open up the door to my enchanted cottage so that any magical creature like me who might need a peaceful place to be can come here, in case you don't have an enchanted place like this on your own, for your own. As a fairy, I love my solitude. And I also feel in my heart a desire to share my joy and all the wonderful treasures I find in my heart when I journal, but also in the forest, or the wisdom that I learn from my favorite books, or from skogen, or from the trees. And to talk about the beautiful spells that I practice and the rituals that I practice. So I want to share all of this with other magical creatures like me. And if you are a magical creature who decides to become a guest at my enchanted cottage, I want you to know that I am quite eagerly hoping that you will feel excited to share your magic and your joy and your spells and your rituals with me and with all the other guests at the Merry Fairy. So just like I write letters to you and leave them on the desk, and just like I create new decorations and spells and rituals and dialogues and pictures that I put in the Merry Fairy for you to use, I also get very happy and super excited when you use the Merry Fairy to share your rituals and your spells and your beautiful poetry and your always amazing art with me and with all the other magical creatures that visit my cottage. So when you share screenshots on Steam and when you join the Discord server and talk to me, or when you like my TikToks or my YouTube videos, or when you leave a comment, or when you ask for new things in my cottage that I could add, I get really happy and really inspired. So I want to thank you for doing this. I want to invite you to do this more if you feel happy and comfortable to do this. And I want to ask for your help to spread this information that my cottage is ready to welcome any magical creature in need. If you can and if you want to. I remember a quote from one of my very favorite animated short films called, I forgot, The Boy, the Horse, the Mole and the Fox, or maybe The Boy, the Mole, the Fox and the Horse, where at some point the horse tells to the boy that the bravest thing he's ever done was to ask for help. And I am being brave here too. I want to ask for your help to spread the word about the Merry Fairy, not because I have a secret capitalistic wish to become rich, but because I have a deep and strong belief that we all need to take a deep breath, to find our own best friend in ourselves, and to believe in magic because this world and this life is magical. And we all have a lot more magic in us than it's common to talk about. And we can create beautiful things, and we can be kind, and we can be happy, truly, truly happy. Thank you for listening to this. Now I'm not sure if I will. No, I will upload this on YouTube, and I will not edit it. And prepare the final build for version 67. It's on the Steam development branch right now, but I still notice that I need to fix some typos. Make a video recording for streaming, done. See, you're looking at it. If you are using the sound, and if I've done this recording in a good way, then you're listening to the beautiful music of Miriavin, which is a harp player that actually came to meet me right here in Fairyland last year. And I am so happy and thankful for her kindness to let me use her music in game. And it goes the same for all the artists that have kindly given me their music for the Fairy Radio. There is no AI whatsoever. I don't want to use AI in any way in the Merry Fairy. So all of them are wonderfully creative people. And if you happen to be a magical creature who makes music and feel that your music might be appropriate in my Fairy Radio, please reach out. So prepare the final build. I didn't do that yet. Make a video recording for streaming. I did that. I am following the streaming guide right now, and I will check all the discount details once more. I will do that. I find it very relaxing to take the time to really minutely place the decorations that I'm using in the journal. And I noticed that, generally speaking, it takes me about 30 minutes to 45 minutes, like not more than 1 hour, to write, to create a journal spread. And whenever I think about what I need to do, I hate the word task or to do. So I always call them quests. Those are the quests that I gave myself. And this is premature check for them, but I don't like, I don't really like this check thing either. I mean, sometimes I like it, but not all the times. I think I took it out in the end. I really love the ribbon and the lavender that I added in the drawer. And by the way, those are stickers that you can gather. And I am very happy that I also added the dancing and enjoying the sun as well in my quests, because they are so important, more important than adding more features in the Merry Fairy trolley. Because yeah. I did already took a walk before I did this presentation, and it was so wonderful. Oh my god, spring is really coming, and the sun feels warm, and I noticed a lot more of the trees having tiny buds and small leaves, so I am very excited. The mystery game that we will be playing is an exit game. I think it's the Sunken Treasure. We are a group of 4, I would say, magical creatures, though I have not yet quite confirmed this for all of the participants. But we like to solve mysteries, so we do that. Not a lot, but not a little either. Did I mention that before the Merry Fairy I published a board game? I also play a lot of board games with my with the caretaker and my friends. I definitely need to add more pieces of small papers that you can use in the journal. It's not relaxing for me to see a recording of my gameplay without at least hearing the music. It's this feels a lot like work. But yeah, remember what Alan once said and have fun. This is the real secret of life, to be completely engaged with what you are doing in the here and now, and instead of calling it work, realize it is play. Thank you, Mr. Watts. Thank you so much for watching. The journal has an infinite amount of pages, by the way, but I do a lot of spreads and then delete them and redo them and so on and so forth, you know. Thank you, thank you. Thank you for watching. Yeah, you can pet the fox. Of course you can. Bye!